This is juvenile arthritis. This is for, and I'll let you guys explain it more. We have families that are affected, we have caretakers, we have patients as well. And so I'm going to sit here, I'm going to learn from them, we're all going to learn from them, and everybody out there in the Facebook world and everywhere where this is being broadcast to is going to learn, and that's why we're here. So without further ado, the families, you guys can pass that mic around and tell everybody your name.
Okay. So my name is Carrie Mapp, and I have a daughter that has arthritis. She's not here with me tonight, but I have a daughter.
I'm Addie, and I have also been affected by juvenile arthritis.
I'm Diana, and I am Addie's mom.
And I am Mark. I am Carrie's husband and the father of Haley.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you guys so much for coming. To help people understand what this is, you guys have a sign as far as the Arthritis Foundation that says, kids get arthritis too. I don't know if that many people know that. I'm not sure that many people know that. But can you tell us the numbers? How many kids? What's the ratio?
So I work for the foundation here in Atlanta, and we're a national foundation, but we have 5 people that work in Atlanta, and I work as a community engagement director. And how I got involved is because our daughter has arthritis. She was diagnosed at 9, and there are 9,000 children in Georgia that suffer with arthritis. There are 300,000 children in the United States that suffer from arthritis.
Wow.
There are over 100 different types of arthritis. Arthritis is just the umbrella, that there are over 100 different types of arthritis. So it's a leading disability in the United States.
Wow, I did not know that. When I looked at the numbers myself, I was astounded. I mean, how could we not know about this, right? And so this is why we get the word out. Let me ask you, if I may, Addie. Addie, are you in remission? What does that mean? The remission, it means that they can pop up anytime, or does it mean that you're cured? Is there a cure? Do you know anything about that? And what does that mean for you, remission?
So when I was 15 months old, I was diagnosed with polyarticular juvenile arthritis. So with that type of arthritis that I had, later when I got older, I could develop uveitis, which is inflammation in the eye. And I developed it around when I was 7 or 8 years old. And I had to take once-a-week shots for 5 years. And ever since September of last year, I've been in remission. So it can't pop up, but hopefully it doesn't.
Okay.
Hopefully this remission lasts forever. So.
Is this in just your case? And I just want to know in your case, what does this feel like? Because sometimes when people say, oh, my joints hurt. Oh, my shin hurts today. What is this really like? Can you, just from the heart, what is it like?
When I had polyarticular arthritis, that was the type that had arthritis in your joints. And since I was so young, I don't remember any of it. When I did have uveitis, which was in my eyes, I was so little, the doctors say that usually kids that are younger that are diagnosed with uveitis don't really notice if they the symptoms of it. But my eye doctor said that now that I'm older, I can notice now the symptoms of it. And he said that if I ever were to have inflammation pop up again, I could be inside my house and the lights would be too bright for me and I would need to wear shades inside.
Okay, so right now, thank God, because you're in remission, right? So it's not like it's constant pain at the moment, but you still have to be cautious. You know that things can happen. Okay, if you could pass the mic back there, I want to talk about patients versus caretaker. There's 2 people affected by any disease, any problem in the home. One of them is the patient who has to deal with it. The other one that's less talked about are the caretakers, right? The emotional effect, the financial effect, the learning that you have to do. You have to kind of become a nurse yourself to be able to teach and treat and know when and what to do. I would like to ask the father back there, what has been your experience with your daughter, Haley?
Well, one of the most important things is my wife and my daughter handled all the medical.
Okay.
They went to all the appointments. I went to very few of them because I was working. So there was, you kind of feel left out in that situation. It was like you don't know what's going on. So they made a special effort to, include me in that. But my role was more of being the financial, the insurance, and when it came to fundraising and stuff like that, that's where I stepped in. And here recently, I've gotten together with a bunch of other dads that their children have arthritis. And we have a Facebook group, and we get together for conferences and just share,
support each other,
because each person has a different role. And not all mothers are the ones that are taking them to the doctors. There's some guys. It's like tonight is our daughter's shot night.
Really?
And when she doesn't feel, she gives herself shots in the stomach. And there's only so many places you can give a shot in the stomach before the stomach gets real sore. And then you have to go to the back of the arm or the legs. And then that's where I come in to give her shots, because somebody made a comment 6 years ago that she would never give her a shot, and my daughter has remembered that.
I'm guessing that's mom.
That's mom.
So you said something really interesting, and I have a feeling that you're not the only person who dealt with that, and like you said, there's a support group for it. When something happens to the child, it's mom. Mom takes care of it. It's mom that hovers over it. And usually, right, this is what the family is like usually when you're, I don't know how else to say it, but that's usually, right? You can feel left out as a dad. Well, I just go to work, I come home, and then you guys have all the medical stuff taken care of. I don't know what's going on. How do you combat that?
Well, I mean, on our part,
But what did you do to combat that?
My wife and my daughter made a special attempt to make sure that I was included, that I knew what happened at the doctor that day. There have been instances where they stopped by my work on the way home from the doctors to make sure that I was the first person to hear the news.
Right.
That our other children didn't hear it first, or grandparents. And, so it's a family of thing. When a child gets a serious illness, it doesn't just affect the child, it affects the entire family. It affects the siblings, it affects the parents, and so you can't let it define you, but also it does affect the entire family. And the numbers you read out, the 9,000 in Georgia and the 300,000, those are diagnosed cases.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, we're going to get to that for sure.
Don't get diagnosed. Y'all deal with my friend over here every week or every month.
Yeah.
And how many of you knew he had arthritis?
Not one.
Not
I did
one.
not know.
Okay, there's kids out there that way. There's young adults, and there's full-grown adults that are all that way. So there's a lot more cases than we know about.
When was Haley diagnosed? At what age?
Haley was diagnosed when she was 9.
9 years old.
I'll let my wife tell her story because I can't tell it without crying.
It's all right. It's all right. I understand. And if you have to cry, that's all right too.
I'm an ugly crier.
I'm just ugly, and I'm still here. It's all right. Let's pass the mic to Diana. I asked that question because I can only imagine what it's like to know someone at 15 months old, to be a mother, and know that the joy of your life, the thing that you're all, do they have 10 toes? Do they have 10 fingers? What's going to happen? And at 15 months old, you realize, man, this might be something that my daughter will have forever. Can you just tell us about that experience?
It was just kind of, it was crazy. We noticed when she was 9 months old that she actually had a swollen toe, and we didn't really know what to make of it. So we took her to her pediatrician and talked to her pediatrician, and they kind of ran some tests, but there wasn't anything crazy. Her daycare provider actually noticed, hey, her Addie's right leg is swollen. Have y'all noticed that? And we knew that she had she never straightened her right leg, but we just thought she was being cute.
Yeah.
And then we know that she didn't, she wasn't crawling. She scooted around on her butt everywhere, so she never actually crawled. So when we went to the doctor, they tried to draw fluid out of her knee, and nothing came out, and that is when they said arthritis. And I was like, what?
Wow.
What? How is that even possible? She's a kid.
You, like the rest of us, didn't know. Kids
Yeah, we had no idea.
Yeah.
We had no idea.
Wow.
So it was just, being a new mom and half sleep deprived and not really, first child, it was just all crazy.
Yeah.
It was just crazy.
Yeah, that's it's an amazing story. I commend all of you just for the strength that it takes to go through something like this, especially something that not a lot of people know. You say, hey, I have cancer, or something happens, everybody immediately knows what this is, how to treat you, what's going on. This is one of those things that people go, huh? What? Huh? How's it dealing with those type of questions? Just for you, especially, if you ever tell somebody in your own age group, and you're like, isn't that something old people get? What does that feel like? What does that sound like? How do you answer for other people who may be getting the same question?
I would just tell them that it's not just a thing that old people can get. Kids get arthritis too, and it's not just arthritis in your joints. You can get it in many forms. Like I said, I had it in my joints when I was a baby, and then when I was 7, I got it in my eyes. A lot of my friends, they didn't really know about it until I started doing pageants, and my platform is Juvenile Arthritis, and that's when I started promoting my platform involved with the Arthritis Foundation.
Yeah.
And that's when they actually started asking me questions about it, and I explained it to them.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. And you're so well spoken. How old are you again? 14. Outstanding. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to leave the last questions for you because I also want some technical expertise. There's more than just one type of arthritis, 2 types, 3 types. Could you explain to me exactly, I know the severity of Haley and the many types and what all the functions that it affects, not just joints, right?
Because there's multiple different kinds of arthritis, and it affects different areas. And just because you have one doesn't mean it doesn't creep up on others, because Haley also has poly now. She has more than 8 joints that have arthritis in them. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you for the story. Thank you for that story. The reason why we're here, though, really quick, well, not really quick, as long as you want. The reason why we're here, because we're taking donations for the Arthritis Foundation. You're the beneficiary this month. What is it that the Arthritis Foundation does? What is this money that everybody here is going to donate to at that table today? Where does it go to? What are we funding? What is it for? A cure? Is it for just support, just help? Is it all of that?
Okay, so before I had the job, I wasn't quite sure where everything went because I didn't work, but now that I'm working for the foundation, I definitely dug in to know exactly where my money's going and where, because I want a cure. So I sit next to the scientist at my job, and I'm always popping over the cubicle going, hey, have y'all found a cure yet? And we have come a long ways. The Arthritis Foundation, along with the CDC and everything, have come a long ways with biologics, because before you would see a lot of children in wheelchairs. So they do fund money for cure. Our scientists, along with all the other CDC and other scientists throughout, are all looking for a cure. And we also have a wonderful couple opportunities throughout the whole United States. We send kids to camp. And so I got to be a camp director this year. And this was the first thing my daughter ever did, our daughter did, is she got to go to camp up in Winder, Georgia for a whole week with children that have arthritis.
Wow.
And talking about a support group.
That's got to be.
It's the best place they could be. Now, they did not have her arthritis. The children that were there, no one had her type. But they understood stiffness. They understood pain. They understood doctors' visits, they understood blood draws, they understood infusions.
I can imagine the isolation of growing up with that and everybody else looking at you and not having those same problems. That's got to be a godsend.
And so the Arthritis Foundation does not ask any parents for any money for that. It costs about $1,200 to send one child to camp for the week, and so that's one way we fund. We also have a family weekend coming up at the end of September. It's where families can come, and they come up to Camp Twin Lakes. We call it Camp Ache Away. That's ours, is Ache Away. We want the ache to go away.
Okay.
And so we have a 3-day where families can come. Children still get to be with their friends. The parents get to see the camp where the kids have the week long.
And what were you going to say, sir?
And my name is Mark Mapp, and just a reminder, July is Juvenile Arthritis Awareness Month. So everybody has a Facebook page, everybody has an Instagram, put it out there, raise awareness, let people know kids get arthritis too.
Exactly. Thank you guys so much.